Hey friends, I just wanted to come to you today talking about productivity. Productivity during all of this, during the pandemic, with all of everything that's been going on, and I just wanted to talk about where I'm at in terms of creative writing, the creative process, and just writing and everything. As you may know, Pitch Wars is coming up in a few weeks on September 27th, so I sent off my manuscript to my beta readers and a sensitivity reader, and I haven't really been writing as much. I haven't really been feeling the motivation to write as much. Not really to do as much, honestly. I've been watching a lot of Netflix, which we'll see in another video. I'm just here to talk about a little about what I've been feeling in terms of productivity and in terms of being creative and this pressure to always be productive, especially the pressure to always be productive, to be doing something right now. I saw a really good tweet that said, right now everyone's giving about 40% of themselves, but everyone's expecting 140% of themselves. And I just thought that that was really cool and it put a lot of things into perspective for me. So, hope you enjoy this talking semi-vlog video. So I think I have to address why I feel so pressured to give 140% of myself right now, even with everything going on and even with all the different situations for everybody in the world. I'm pretty sure that's it, actually. I think I just answered my own question. Because there's so much going on, I feel like I have to compensate in a lot of areas to be productive constantly, to be writing constantly, to be churning out content constantly, even though it's not churning. It is actually fun. But to constantly be engaged with the world, even when, last week on Friday, my laptop died, and I was like, maybe this is a sign from the universe to just read a book, or two, or three. This is turning into the song from Tangled. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that it's not a bad thing to take a break once in a while. It's not a bad thing to even just take a whole week off from anything that you're doing, because I needed to recharge myself. I needed to recharge my batteries. Oh no. And one way I recharged my batteries was by not being productive. I mean, not being creative in other ways than writing, especially. And honestly, at the end of this week, I came up with two different story ideas. I wrote a bit of a scene from a play, and I feel like making videos again, which is always a plus. And I was talking with a friend, and I mentioned that things don't inherently have to be negative, that consequences don't have to be negative um, when you're not doing something. Like that, not doing something doesn't inherently have to be negative. It can just exist. And I think in a lot of ways, I and many other people don't leave room for that to exist at the same time. And this week has honestly been really helpful in figuring that out and figuring out where I want to be creative and that it's okay to not give 140% all the time. I am extremely type A, so I totally get jumping into things and trying to do everything all at once, but that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable for your entire life. You have to take breaks sometimes. I think I'm just addressing this video to me, but oh well. And one way I also recharged was just by watching a lot of TV, just reading, and it was really helpful because it made me think about the writing goals that I want to accomplish, the creative goals that I want to accomplish, and the productive goals that I want to accomplish, which wouldn't be accomplished if I was burnt out or constantly trying to achieve that 140% all the time. And I think there's a really good distinction between productive and being productive and good productivity and bad productivity, aka worrying about being productive all the time, especially now with the pandemic and with all the social issues that are going on right now. It's impossible to address them all, and it's impossible to stay at full capacity to address them all and also be creative and also live your life. So I don't think that we have to make sacrifices in any areas, but we do have to know when to chill out and when to back off a little, and pretty much just when to let go of the urge to be productive, to be like, oh man, I need to be doing everything I possibly can right now at this moment, 24/7, all day, every day. And I know that in our society that's super, super hard because our society thrives on capitalism and productivity, and if you're not giving 100%, then what's your worth, etc., etc. And this week has been really good in breaking that mentality and just doing what I want to do, but also trying not to fall into the trap of, oh, I spent this whole week doing nothing, so that must mean that I'm a bad human. No, just means that I need a break from writing, from being creative, and from just making things happen all the time. I feel like I'm going around in circles in this video, so here's a clip from over the weekend when I went to the park with my friend. Smile for the vlog!
I'm smiling, but you can't tell!
It's okay!
Hello!
Woo! I don't know where to end this. I also don't think productivity should always necessarily be quantifiable, if that makes sense. Like, we shouldn't have to point to, oh, here's this, and this that I did this week, and that makes me productive, so therefore I'm winning at life, or I'm being a good human, like I said. And especially now when things are so wild, when I don't have the motivation for a lot of things that I might have a previous week or the week after, I think it's good to just remember, like, even if you're not doing everything that you were doing last week, even if that you're not doing everything 100% all the time, you're still fine because you're still here and you're still living and you still are doing things with your life. You're existing, you're living. This sounds so philosophical. I don't know. Like, even sharing an Instagram post or even responding to a friend, catching up with someone, that's being productive. Maybe this video is a bit more of a pep talk than I realized. Maybe it's more of a philosophical debate with myself on being productive during a pandemic, during so many social movements, during so many times where we might not necessarily know where to look, know what to look at, know who to look for, that it's important that we can also just look at ourselves and be like, hey, even if I didn't do much this week, I still did something, and that was live, exist, be myself. So this isn't really about much about the creative process as I wanted it to be. I did feel a little bit pressured to turn out creative videos, especially with editing videos, but where I'm at with my project right now, since I did send it off to readers, I don't think that I have much to do with it right now at this moment. Of course, there's always things you can do. There's always things you can do with your writing, but you don't have to do it all at once. I don't have to do it all at once, or at least I'm choosing not to, because I had a good 3 weeks of solid editing, and now I have the next 3 weeks to perfect and critique for Pitch Wars and just make final edits, and I'm hoping that I'll have a new project to share with you all soon. I'm hoping that I'll have a new outline, at least, to share with you all, maybe a video about outlining. Honestly, this video is just me saying which videos I'm going to be making in the future. Therefore, I'm trying to be productive, or trying to talk myself into being productive, even though that's not the point of this video, brain. But I am excited about the projects that I do have in mind. I'm excited about the different ways that I'm going to go about them. I'm also excited to talk more about my influences and my creative processes this week and how they've developed, I guess, if that makes sense. I hope it does. This video is just going to be me looking extremely worried about everything. I promise you that's not the point. Anyways, too long, didn't read, didn't watch. Being productive during a pandemic is not always going to be the same, is not always going to look the same as it was last week, and it's definitely not going to look the same as it has today or tomorrow or in the future. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on productivity and being productive right now, and please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will, again, make a video about it in the future. Bye everybody, and thanks for watching.